Hello? Does anybody here know what to do if your clothes or anything catches fire?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Do you know the proper way to do it?
You have to put a blanket around.
No, you drop, you stop, and then you put something on top of it.
You kind of have it. If you ever do catch on fire, put your hands up to your face so it protects your face from catching on fire. Tuck your arms in, then you stop and drop, and then you roll. And if you have a friend there with you, have them throw a blanket or a jacket over them to try to smother the fire.
What's that? Do what you tell them.
What, that they don't stop, drop, and roll?
Uh-huh.
Well, then their articles will burn, and it'll go through to their skin, then your skin will start burning. And that's very painful.
I get a plate and throw it over and throw it down.
You could do that too. You can also get a blanket. That's one of the rules. You should learn that. Learn how to dial 911. And if you want to make something up at home, have to dial 911, follow the rules to stop, drop, and roll.
Like, if you forget to stop, drop, and roll, and you're fire. You have to take
If you're in a panic state, you don't think to take your clothes off. Because you all start, you're scared, you're nervous, there's flames all over you, so just drop and roll.
If you catch on fire, and as far as Mitchell said, you're rolling around on the ground, your clothes are on fire, no, just wait for medical attention to get there, because hopefully your buddy's with your friends with you. They've called 911, so the fire department, the police department, and hopefully EMS will all be on their way. And when they take you to the hospital, they'll take care of your clothes and stuff like that. Because once you get a burn, you don't want to start pulling that stuff, your clothes right off real quick. So let the trained people know what they're doing. Okay.
Okay. If your articles do catch on fire, what you should do when you drop down, keep your hands on your face, have your arms tucked in, and you just start rolling around like this until it's all out. Or if you do have somebody with you, have them also throw a blanket or a jacket or whatever to help smother the fire. And then just stay there until the proper people come, the firefighters or the paramedics, and then they'll take care of you from there.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on what you do if our clothes catch fire? What do we do?
No.
What's that?
Put your hands
Another
on
rule.
your face.
Jeez. How many rules of that we have now?
4.
Okay. That's a real important one, though, isn't it? If you ever catch fire, don't keep running around yelling, "Hey, I'm on fire!" What happens is the air blowing up against you will make the fire a lot bigger. And I think in a few seconds, or a few minutes, Harry's going to show us some stuff that might show us why we don't want to run around when we're on fire. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is we're going to turn it over to Harry here, and we're not sure what he's going to do yet. So be real careful. And if I were you guys in the front row, I think I'd be real careful and start like moving back, because we don't know what he's going to do.
No, I just stay right where you are. I'm not going to do anything dumb. Maybe a little stupid times, but we talked about 911, what to do in case of fire. All right? You've seen a video on it. Everyone here has touched on certain aspects of 911, what to do in case we get a fire. On the board up here, I have 5 items listed. So just put down there, no particular order, but just put down the things that you should do in case of a fire. I want to know from somebody what would be the first thing that you would do in case of a fire.
I run out and go to my somebody that lives close to me.
What's that?
I run out the house and go to my neighbor's house and ask them to use their phone to call a fire.
You know what you're going to get? You're going to get a... Wrong. That's not the first thing you want to do. What is the first thing you want to do? Strike, yes.
Stop, drop, and roll.
No. You want to do that if your clothes are on fire, yes. But if you have a fire in a house or a building, what is the first thing you want to do? No. That's it. Have the white blouse. Beg pardon? No. All right, I'm going to give you a clue. What? You know.
Yell help.
That's right. That's the first thing you want to do if there's a fire in a house or any place that you're in. Yell as loud as you can. Make all kinds of noise you can to get other people's attention. That's the first thing you want to do. Yell fire. Okay. We're going to put number 1 down here. Now, what's going to be number 2? Green. Leave the building. Right. That's the number 2 you want to do. Leave the building. Okay. What was going to be number 3? Let's see here. Red shirt. Getting easier now. You have less choices.
Be quiet.
Dial 911.
Okay, what's going to be the 3rd thing you want to do? Get over here in this corner.
I'll go to your next door neighbor.
That is right. You want to go to the next door neighbor or a friend's house. That's number 3. Now, it's getting easier. What's the 4th thing you're going to do? The purple. Or what color? Okay.
Pink.
Call 911. That's number 4. You want to call 911 from a neighbor's house. Why don't you want to do it from your house? Why you don't want to do it from your house? Number 1, you don't know if your phone's going to work. Number 2, you don't want to stay in a burning building and make a phone call. Because a fire could get around you. You want to get out as quick as you can. Now, I think this is going to be easy. What's the last thing you want to do? Do you really know?
Dial 911.
No. What's the last thing you want to do? Let's see. The purple shirt.
Give address.
Give address, that's right. As you saw in the video, you're going to be talking to a dispatcher at the other end of the phone. They're going to ask you questions. They know where your phone call is coming from. But that doesn't mean that's where the fire is. The fire is going to be next door to you. You want to give them that address as well. They know where you're calling from, but you want to give them the address of where the fire is. It may be a half a block down the road. Okay, that's our 5th thing. Okay, we're going to review. You want to have a fire in a house or building, you want to yell, help, make as much noise as you can to alert everybody else in the building. Number 2, you want to leave the building. Once you're out, you don't go back in. If you go back in, we may have to carry you out. We don't want to do that. You don't want us to do that either. Number 3, you go to a neighbor or a friend's house. Number 4, you want to call 911. If you happen to be in an area that does not have 911, they will have a regular phone number to call. That's what we're talking about in the video. 7 numbers you want to call. Should be posted somewhere near the phone for emergency. When you get on the phone, you're going to be talking to somebody. They'll be wanting to know what is the problem. You're going to get a fire, or you have a medical emergency, or in case someone's breaking in, you're not going to leave your house. You're going to stay in the house if someone's breaking in. All right. You know what's coming up soon? What are we going to after we have the spring, come around June sometime, what are we going to do?
I know. Summer vacation.
Summer vacation. He's always planning on going down the shore already. That's right. We have summer vacation coming. And in summer vacations, what do we always have right in the beginning of July?
Fireworks.
Fireworks. That's right. Fireworks. Are fireworks safe to play with?
No.
That is absolutely correct. Fireworks are not safe to play with. As with everything you've learned here, not everything, a lot of things you learned here today, there are rules to follow. Some of the rules, I'm going to show you some of the real things that are around. They're not legal, but because of our demonstrations, we can carry these things just for demonstration purposes only. These are all over the place, and somehow people bring them in and play with them. They go up in the air. They don't necessarily go straight. They go up and over. You never know where they're going to go. That's what's wrong about these things. You don't know where they're going to go. They may not go anywhere. They may stay right there on the ground and just blow up. But on here, there are rules. There are rules on this little piece of paper. It says, use only under close adult supervision. Let the adults, if they're going to use these, let them use. Don't you play with these things. It says for outdoor use only. Should I like this in here?
No.
That's kind of dumb, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're telling you, because people will do that. They're telling you a rule. Use them outdoors if someone's going to play with them. Adults, that is. Do not hold in hand. Now, is that a smart idea? Hold them in your hand? Absolutely not. That's another rule we want to listen to. Don't hold them in your hand and light them. And another rule. Light fuse and get away. Well, I'm just explaining to you that there are rules even for these little things. The rules are for your safety. Even though we are not supposed to be playing with these things or using them, they're still around to be had. And we just want to make sure you're aware of the danger these can danger be to you. Again, another thing. It's a big one of these. It's a big one of these. I'll just show you a little more impressive. A little neat, like a little stick of dynamite. You have to throw it away, right? Well, these little things right here, I used to call them Chinese firecrackers because they're made in China. They're little tiny things. They have a little piece of paper right here called a fuse, and there's a little explosive device into here that makes a big bang. Now, what happens with these? I've seen them happen, and I will tell you, I'll be honest with you, it's happened to me when I was a youngster. It has happened to me. And I'm sure it's happened to many young folks. You got these things, you have matches or lighters. You light the fuse. Sometimes that fuse will go. Takes so long to get down to that little cracker. It seems like an eternity. So what happens? You pick up the next one. You light it. You get ready to throw it on, then boom! It goes off in your fingers. It was a fast fuse. You have no control how fast this thing burns. Some will burn real fast, some real short. You never know. You light it, you get ready to throw it, it goes off in your fingers back here. To me, it's going to hurt my fingers. It will hurt my fingers. My fingers are bigger, they're tougher than some of your small fingers. I will almost guarantee you they will damage your small fingers. Your fingers are not built to hold when you sing to have them go up in there. It's going to hurt. And it's liable to hurt you real bad when you have to go to the hospital. We don't want that. I'm sure that you don't want that either. One other thing we usually play with on the 4th of July. This is a great big one. What is it? Anybody know? What is it? Well, it's considered a firework, yes. Sometimes they refer to them as, it's a great big one, big example. Refer to them as what? Sparklers. Thank you, sir. I got one right. I got one right. 1 out of 5 is not bad. It's a sparkler. Can sparklers hurt you?
Yes.
You better believe they can hurt you. They give you a long piece of wire in the end to hold on to. So everything is sparkling on the end here is not near you. Unless you do this.
Ow.
Now it's coming down on top of you. Now, also what happens, you ever watch, next time you ever see one, watch it. It's going to burn down. And what happens when it burns down? You get a red piece of wire at the end. Because that's red hot. Red hot. You were actually do this to you, you're gonna get a white mark right across your skin where you got burnt. And it will smart. It will smart. And that little mark will be there for a long time. Not only on your skin, but it's going to be with you up here. It's going to tell you, don't do that again. Sparklers are neat. They look pretty. They're green. They're gold. They're white. They're red. No matter what color they are, they're going to hurt you if you get a hold of that wire up here by accident, or get it up against you, or even maybe just next to the neighbor, somebody standing next to you, just talking to somebody over here and turn around like this and poke them in the chest or the arm or something like that, not paying attention to what you're doing. So really the best thing to do is don't play with it. Again, fireworks are not to be played with. Professional people who set fireworks off in big displays, they are always getting hurt themselves because of stupid things that happen. Things that they cannot control. There was, a couple years ago, up in New England, on a river, 4th of July, they had a large barge out in the middle of the river where it's safe, away from buildings, away from people, away from fields that won't burn. They have all these hundreds of fireworks set up on this barge to go off. 45 minutes of fireworks. That's 3/4 of an hour of all these boomers up in the sky, pretty displays and everything like that. Well, they no sooner lit off the first couple, something went wrong. I don't know how many guys were on this barge working. Professional people. This is what they get paid for. This is what they do for life. They set off displays of fireworks. Something went wrong with the professional people. 45 minutes of fireworks went off in 45 seconds. Fortunately, these guys knew it. What did they do? Right into the water they went. They knew what was going to happen. They got out of control, just like that. They had no choice but to dump into the water. That's what saved them. But they had this whole 45 minutes of fireworks in 45 seconds. It must have been an awesome display, going all over the place. But I bet you one thing, those guys in that barge remembered it. Next time, they probably took a little better care of what they're doing. It happens all the time. It happened even last year around our area here, Conshohocken. They had a problem with fireworks. Professional people, it happens. You're going to be out in the woods probably during the summertime. You never know what you're going to walk into the woods. You're going to always find things in the woods. You don't always have to be in the woods, but you'll find things. Rules. Okay. These are blasting caps. You know what blasting caps are? That's what they use to set dynamite with. Plastic explosives. Real heavy explosive stuff they take buildings down with. Not these little things. I'm talking about some big stuff. Takes buildings down. These are blasting caps. These are high explosives. Got a little cylinder. Almost looks like a small firecracker. But they're a little more, they're made out of metal, looks like. And they all have wires on them. Different kinds of wires. It says here, they are tools. They are designed to do something. They are not toys. They are dangerous, high explosives. Don't touch them. You see anything like this in the woods or anywhere near the streets or around the house or anything like this, don't touch them because you don't know what's going to happen. Take a good look at them. You may never see them again. I hope you don't. But in case you do, don't touch them.
Who should I call?
Who should you call? If you find one, you call 911. You want to tell a policeman if you see them, a fireman, or a sheriff, or anybody with authority, or even an adult. Let them know that you've seen something that may look like a blasting cat. Don't touch it. It will take fingers. It will take fingers. I don't see anybody here like that. Okay, let's see what else we got over here. Cherry bombs over here? Cherry bombs?
Yeah.
Well, I'll guarantee you something. More than one of these little things. This will smart bad. This will hurt awesome. This will hurt awesome. And like even my hands or Ben's hands, which are even bigger than mine, will not be able to sustain any explosion from this thing. You're going to get hurt bad. What about what? Oh,
What about with gloves?
don't make any difference. You're still going to feel it. Gloves may protect you to a certain point, but they're not going to protect you that much. They will not protect you that much. One more thing. There's a 4-word phrase that you have heard before, you're going to hear again, and you're going to hear many times again. It's a very important 4-word phrase. Can you imagine what that might be? You know what that is? What's it look like? Who said match over here? That's right. This is one type of a match. You can strike on any kind of surface and it'll light. This is not a real one. This is, again, like just a big tool. It's a big prop. Just let you see what it looks like. They're only about this big. Or even the little book matches you open up with a little cardboard on it. Got a little head on the top of it. They're like little magic things. You strike them on the back, all of a sudden you got instant fire. A little tiny fire. But that little tiny fire may go up to be a whole building fire. And even on those little match covers, you will find a rule. You know what that rule might say?
Do not let children touch it.
Well, it's not what the paper says, but you're right. Don't let children. It says, close before striking.
Yep.
Close. It's right on the little tiny word. You can just about see them. It says, close before striking. It's another rule. But the main rule that I'm talking about is 4 words. The first word is don't. Can anybody finish it for me? No. What's that? Don't play with matches. That is right. A match is not a play toy. A match is a tool. It's designed to do something. It is designed to make a fire. Whether it be to light a gas stove in the house, a bonfire in a campground, or whatever. It's designed to do something. Don't play with matches. Just recently, in the last several weeks, there have been several fires down in the city of Philadelphia. Several children, probably your age, have been burned. Some of them have died because of those burns. Why? Because one of those children was playing with matches under the bed. Matches under the bed. They're playing with them. What happens probably, they strike them, and maybe they did not close the cover. All the matches in this little container go up. They get scared of it. They drop it. Where do they drop it? On the rug, on the floor, maybe enclosed. Next thing you know, you have a small fire. Well, that's all you need. One small fire goes into a great big fire. So the word is, don't play with matches. And I see a big hand over here.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can we use that to light our way in our dark room? Should we? Because-
Absolutely not. That's the reason why they make flashlights.
Okay. So we can't use them to light underneath the bed so we can see what's underneath the bed?
No, you never use a match for light. You may use a match to light a candle only in case of emergency or emergency lighting in the house, but even then, you should have a flashlight because candles are not the safest thing either. Again, a candle is a small flame. Candle is a small flame, and you don't want to get a big fire. Let's see, we got any more tricks over here? Anything I want to talk about? Okay. I'll take about 3 questions. Let's see, who has not talked to me yet? One of the checking. Cooking is one of the biggest problems we have starting fires because you already have almost like a fire there already to cook with. If it's a gas stove or if it's electric, we have the hot burners, and food will burn. And some foods will create grease and fat. Fat will also burn if you don't watch it. You get the burner turned up real high, and the next thing you know, we do have a fire. So whenever anybody's cooking in the kitchen, you've got to be careful and go watch what you're doing. And don't cook by yourselves. Make sure an adult is there with you to supervise. Just crank it up a little bit.
One time when my mom was making some toast, she
Yeah.
went out like for 1 second or something, and then my brother was like, I smelled something, and then my mom was like back in, and there was a little fire going on.
Any food burns. I remember one time, way up the northeast part of our township here, woman was cooking in the kitchen. I forget what she was cooking. She was doing something, and Mr. Bisenmeyer probably remember this one quite well. Cooking in the kitchen. She decided she's going to go outside the backyard and check the filter of her swimming pool. Well, sometimes you get out there, you get involved with things, and next thing you know, we're getting called to a kitchen fire. And the kitchen got pretty well burnt. With not paying attention to what we do in the kitchen. One more question. Let's see, who?
Oh, got a teacher back here, huh?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I want to tell something that I did once.
Okay.
I was really embarrassed. I cleaned out the fireplace.
Oh, let me guess.
And it was the next morning after we had a fire the night before, and I thought everything was totally out. I mean, the ashes were just out. And I cleaned them out and put them in a bag. I put them in the garage in a plastic trash can with a lid. And fortunately, I didn't go anywhere. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I was still at home. And all of a sudden, my smoke alarm in the garage, which was right outside the door, started to beep. Started to go off. Well, I couldn't imagine what it was. I thought maybe it was a dryer coming from the laundry. And I went out there, and my whole trash can was smoking. Well, normally, I mean, 2 women, it was myself and my daughter, and we opened the garage door, we didn't know what to do first, and I thought, well, I got to get it out of the house. So luckily it was on wheels, and we got it out in the driveway, and then we got the hose. And
That was the only smart thing you did.
well, get it out of the house. Got to get it out of the house. But then I was telling somebody that, and they started telling me stories about people's houses that had burned down
Oh,
because of
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
But it didn't even dawn on me that those ashes were not out. I'd done it before, and it had nothing to do
And let me guess, it must have been wintertime.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wintertime, maybe we're getting a little keeping track here a little bit. You got time? Wintertime, we do get called out for things just like we were just being told about. People clean out the fireplaces. They have wood fireplaces. They burn logs in to keep the house warm and make the living room or den look nice and neat with little log fires in there. Don't think about it, but the fires look like they're out in the morning. But buried deep in all those ashes, there's few red embers yet. Those little hot ashes. You don't see them. You do not see them. You take the shovels and dump them out. You put them in a plastic can. You put them out in the garage. You put them out next to the house in the back porch. Any place. Next thing you know, here we go. We get called out, and we come out and extinguish the fire. The other thing that's got to be done, how many of you have a fireplace in the house?
What?
A fireplace in the house. Okay. They burn wood in it. Make sure that those, talk to mom and dad and ask them when is this time that chimney was cleaned out. Because if you guys don't get your chimneys cleaned out, we will clean it for you. But we come out with big red trucks to do that with. After we put the fire out, we'll clean the chimney out too. Okay. That's all. Okay. One more small item. Okay, hold on. Around our houses, most of us have a gas grill. Gas grills are neat because you cook your food on them, make the food taste neat, all kinds of neat stuff you can do. Hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that. They use these things. He's going to hold it for me. They use these things on them.
That came outside.
Are these dangerous?
Yes.
You better bet your life they're dangerous. They're filled with gas, propane gas. One of these were to explode, it'll take your house apart. It will take your house apart. You don't play with them. If you find one as a spare bottle sitting in a shed, and hopefully not in the garage or part of the house, shouldn't be there. Never, never, never go see if it's filled with gas or not by turning it on. Because for some stupid reason, you may not turn it off all the way, or something may happen to the valve. And all night long, you got this small leak of propane gas filling that garage, or maybe in the shed. Someone comes along with a cigarette, smoking a cigarette, which they shouldn't be doing anyhow. Open up the shed door, boom! There they go. Halfway down the street. Airborne. You know? They may not know what happened to them. They are dangerous. If you find anything like this out in the fields or woods, again, don't touch it. Call somebody, tell an adult that you found a bottle like this out in the woods, and somebody will go get it, bring it back in, and get rid of it the right way.
Throw in a dumpster.
No. Throw in a dumpster, they go into a furnace. It goes into a big pit where they burn stuff, and that thing's going to explode.
Say something else.
What? This last question. 1 minute. One hit.
Thank you. When I spent the night over my dad's house in Philadelphia, my brother, he had a lighter. And every time he went to the store, he kept on buying firecrackers. And he put the firecracker in a beer bottle, and then he put the lighter inside, lighted it up, and then the whole bottle, you saw fire in there, and the thing bust. And my brother, he picked it up and he said, "Ooh, it's hot." And then he said, "Anton, you hold it." I said, "No, just throw it down."
Yeah, you don't want to play with matches, you don't play with lighters, you don't play with fireworks. You can always get hurt.
He's like 14.
Okay, we're going to try and close this up here real quick now. Because I know you guys are in a hurry to get home. We're going to get back to school and stuff along those lines. But let's go over some stuff real quick. If we see a fire on our way home from school today, what do we dial?
911.
If we see a car accident, people are hurt, what do we dial?
911.
Harry's cat gets sick, what do we call? Nothing, okay. Remember, 911 is for people, not for animals. Right? Smoke detectors. Remember what firefighter Marquez was saying earlier.
Smoke detector.
Everybody should have one of these, at least one in your house,
I
right?
have one in my room.
Should be one on each floor.
One in the hall.
You test the detector how often? How often? Once a week we test the detector. We change the battery at least once a year. Okay? When this goes off, what do we do? What's Sparky say? Hit the road. Get out of the house, go to a neighbor. Right? Battalion Chief Bradbury. The wall outlet, the electrical stuff. We just keep plugging stuff in all the time? Nah. If we go home, we got a whole lot of wires coming out of the wall. See your mom or dad and tell them, say, I got a problem upstairs. We got too much electrical stuff up there. And they're probably going to tell you to get rid of half of it, but it's a problem. So when you go home, check around your outlets around your house and think of firefighter or Battalion Chief Bradbury when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yes, sir. Wait. You had one more question with him. This is it. The next one you owe me. Go ahead.
Only one I plug up is my Sega, my Game Gear, and my TV.
You got Sega and Game Gear?
Uh-huh.
All right, get his address. We're going over to Blanche afternoon, okay? Okay. Firefighter Missioner, you remember his program? What do we do if our clothes catch fire? Okay. Other than that, we're done unless any of the firefighters have anything else they want to add?
I got something to say.
Uh-oh. Ben's got something to say. We're in trouble again.
You gotta remember, when we call 911, we have to know our address, okay? Everybody's gotta know their address for several reasons. Hey! We have to know our address and telephone number, okay?
Yes.
All right.
They're all yours. We're done.
I got it. Hi.